Have you ever glanced around your living space and felt that wave of overwhelm wash over you? Perhaps there's a tower of dishes waiting patiently in the sink, scattered mail creating its own little landscape on your counter, or that basket of laundry you folded 3 days ago but somehow never quite made it to your closet. Do you ever catch yourself thinking, where do I even begin? If that feels like a page from your own story, please know you're walking a path many of us travel. Life rushes by, days blend together, and sometimes that peaceful sanctuary we imagine seems just beyond our fingertips. But what if creating a home that feels like a warm embrace doesn't have to be so complicated? What if it could start with just one tiny habit at a time? Today, I'm sharing something different. No impossible standards, no marathon cleaning sessions, just a handful of gentle practices that can transform how you feel in your own space. These aren't chores on yet another to-do list. They're little acts of kindness toward yourself, quiet moments that whisper, "This is your safe harbor. This is where you belong." And the most beautiful part? You can begin right where you are, in your own unique way, at your own comfortable pace. Stay with me until the end, because after I share these 5 core habits, I have 2 special bonus practices that many women tell me have completely shifted not just their homes, but the entire rhythm of their daily lives. Let's take this journey together toward a home that feels like taking a deep breath, receiving a heartfelt hug, and finding your steady ground. 1. Start your day with a small victory. Make your bed. There's something almost enchanted about how the way we begin can shape everything that follows. When morning light finds you, you're standing at the threshold of something brand new, a whole day unfurling before you with all its mysteries and possibilities. This moment can feel exciting, overwhelming, or grounding depending on your very first actions. One of the most powerful yet gentlest habits that naturally organized women embrace is beautifully simple. They make their bed. Not because anyone's coming to inspect it, not to chase some Pinterest perfect image, but because it's a loving gift they offer themselves first thing each morning. Making your bed isn't about creating a magazine-worthy bedroom. It's about sending a clear message to your own heart. You matter. This space matters. You deserve beauty and order even in the quietest corners of your life. The wonder of this habit is that it takes just a minute or 2. There's no need for hospital corners or perfectly aligned pillows. Simply pull up the covers, fluff the pillows, and smooth everything with your hands. As you do this small act, you're not just tidying a bed, you're setting an intention for your entire day. You're choosing order over chaos, care over neglect, presence over rushing. Even on days when laundry multiplies and the kitchen counter becomes a landing zone for everything, a made bed becomes your anchor. It offers a feeling of accomplishment that ripples throughout your home. When you glimpse your bedroom later, that island of calm helps you feel centered again. For many of us, especially as life seasons change, simple routines become lifelines. They aren't rigid rules, but rather gentle rituals that remind us who we are and what truly matters. Starting with making your bed is one of the simplest yet most powerful rituals you can gift yourself. Think of it as planting your flag each morning in the landscape of your day. No matter what unexpected turns appear on your path, you began with intention, with dignity, and with love for yourself. And if you're thinking, but some mornings I barely have energy to open my eyes, that's perfectly okay. This isn't about perfection. It's about offering yourself this moment of care whenever you can. Tomorrow morning, before you reach for your phone or dive into everyone else's needs, pause. Take a breath. Straighten those covers, smooth those pillows, and whisper to yourself, "This one's for me." Watch how that simple act of self-kindness changes everything that follows. I'd love to know, do you already make your bed each morning, or is this a habit you might try? Let me know in the comments. 2. Keep the heart of your home happy. The sink strategy. They call the kitchen the heart of any home for good reason. It's where we gather, where we nourish ourselves and our loved ones, where memories form in the aroma of morning coffee or soup simmering on a winter afternoon. And right at the center of that heart sits your kitchen sink. It might seem like such a small detail, but the state of your sink profoundly affects how you feel about your entire living space. A sink overflowing with dishes brings a heaviness, a sense of things spiraling beyond your control. By contrast, a clean or even just thoughtfully managed sink sends an entirely different message. We're taken care of. We've got this, even if just this one small corner. Organized women intuitively understand this connection. Rather than waiting until dishes create their own skyline, they tend to the sink in small, manageable moments throughout the day. A quick rinse here, a neatly stacked plate there. Even when energy runs low or schedules overflow, they make tiny choices that prevent chaos from taking root. You don't need to scrub every pot to gleaming perfection or polish every fork until it sparkles. The magic lies in those small, consistent actions. If a cup needs rinsing, take that moment to rinse it. If utensils start gathering, give them a quick wash or arrange them neatly. By touching these tasks lightly but frequently, they never morph into a daunting project that steals your joy. Something remarkable happens when you adopt this approach. Your kitchen becomes more welcoming. Preparing meals feels less like a chore and more like a pleasure. You reclaim this vital space as a source of nourishment rather than stress. The emotional benefits stretch even further. When you care for your sink, you're telling yourself that you deserve a space that supports rather than depletes you. It transforms from being about dishes to being about dignity and self-respect. Maybe today you're feeling stretched thin. That's completely natural. You don't need to tackle everything at once. Just start with your sink. Let it become that one bright spot in your home. Wipe it clean, rinse that coffee mug, and notice the small wave of peace that washes over you. These tiny actions, repeated day after day without fanfare, build something powerful over time. They create a home that nurtures you rather than drains you. They build a life where you're moving in harmony with your days instead of constantly playing catch-up. Next time you pass through your kitchen, remember you don't have to conquer everything at once. Just keep your sink happy, one small step at a time, and watch how that center point radiates calm throughout your home. Have you noticed how a clean sink affects your mood? Share your experience below. 3. The magic of completion. Handle it now. There's a quiet liberation that comes from handling things in the moment they appear. Organized women understand that clutter doesn't suddenly materialize overnight. It accumulates gradually from all the tiny decisions we postpone. A jacket draped over the back of a chair, a coffee mug abandoned on the side table, reading glasses set down and forgotten. None of these items alone creates a problem, but together, over days and weeks, they weave a feeling of being overwhelmed. They create the sense that our home is slipping beyond our control, that life is racing ahead faster than we can manage. The simplest solution is a gentle shift in mindset. Instead of setting things aside for later, take a breath and handle them now. When you finish using something, guide it back to its proper place. Hang the jacket when you walk through the door. Carry your empty mug to the kitchen when you finish reading. Return those glasses to their case when you stand up. This approach sounds incredibly simple, and it is, but it's also remarkably powerful. Addressing small tasks immediately prevents clutter from forming in the first place. It removes that mental weight of seeing dozens of little jobs waiting for your attention. Instead, you experience a sense of flow and ease. Your home becomes a space that breathes with you rather than constantly demanding from you. There's another beautiful dimension to this habit. When you live this way, you're not forever putting your life on pause to catch up on cleaning. You're moving in harmony with your space, treating it with the same consideration you'd offer a dear friend. Of course, there will be days when you're exhausted or when life simply asks more than you can give. That's perfectly normal and human. On those days, be gentle with yourself. The goal isn't flawless performance. It's simply cultivating mindfulness so that most days, without even thinking about it, you're choosing completion over postponement. Imagine for a moment a home where most things have a designated place and typically reside there. Picture the lightness you'd feel, the calm you'd carry into each new day. That feeling isn't some distant dream. It starts with one small choice at a time. The next time you finish reading something or sipping from your favorite mug, pause and ask yourself, can I take just one more moment to complete this circle? Over time, these tiny acts of completion transform not just your physical space, but your inner landscape as well. Do you struggle with the "I'll deal with it later" habit? What's one small item you could start handling in the moment? Share your thoughts. 4. The art of visual calm. Choose what you see. There's wisdom in recognizing that not everything we own needs to be visible all at once. Even when everything is technically in its proper place, having too many items in sight creates a sense of visual noise that subtly drains our energy. Naturally organized women aren't necessarily minimalists who own fewer possessions. They're thoughtful curators who carefully select what their eyes and hearts encounter throughout the day. When every surface holds items, every shelf stands packed, and every corner filled, it becomes challenging to feel peaceful. Your mind, even without conscious awareness, processes each visible object: the stack of magazines, the collection of decorative items, the pile of mail waiting for attention. This visual stimulation accumulates until simply being in your space feels exhausting. Choosing what remains visible is a powerful form of self-care. It says, "I honor my need for visual peace." This doesn't mean creating a stark, impersonal environment. It means intentionally selecting items that bring genuine joy, comfort, or beauty and giving them room to breathe. Perhaps it's that framed photograph capturing a moment of pure happiness. Maybe it's a vase of fresh flowers on your dining table. It could be a treasured book resting beside your favorite reading chair. When these meaningful items have space around them, they become more significant. They aren't lost in visual clutter, but stand as gentle reminders of what matters most in your life. One simple way to begin this practice is by asking yourself as you look around each room, does this need to be out? Does seeing this lift my spirit? If the answer is no, consider finding it a home in a drawer or cabinet, passing it along to someone who might appreciate it more, or simply letting it go. Give your treasured items the respect they deserve by allowing them to shine without competition. Every space in your home benefits from this thoughtful approach. A kitchen counter with breathing room makes cooking feel like a creative pleasure rather than a chore. A bedside table with just a lamp, a book, and perhaps a small, meaningful item transforms bedtime into a peaceful retreat. There's no need to rush this process or force dramatic changes. Take a gentle approach. This isn't about achieving some exterior standard of perfection. It's about creating visual space that allows your mind and heart to rest. As you gradually make these considerate choices, you'll notice something remarkable. Your home will feel more spacious even without changing its physical dimensions. Your mind will feel calmer. Your daily life will feel more intentionally yours. Take a moment today to look around with soft eyes and a kind heart. Ask yourself what you truly want to see when you move through your own space. And know that every item you choose to highlight or respectfully store away is a step toward a home that welcomes you with open arms. What's one area in your home where you could create a little more visual breathing room? I'd love to know. 5. Evening ritual. A gentle goodnight to your home. There's a special quietness that settles over a home in the evening hours. The world outside grows still, lights dim, and everything softens around the edges. It's during these peaceful moments that organized women practice perhaps the most meaningful habit of all. They take a few minutes to wish their home a gentle goodnight. This evening ritual isn't about deep cleaning or tackling major projects. It's about small gestures of care that bring closure to the day. Straightening a cushion on the sofa, wiping down the kitchen counter, turning off a lamp with a sense of completion. These aren't tedious chores, but rather expressions of gratitude for the space that has held your day. By moving through your home with unhurried hands and an appreciative heart, you're sending a quiet message to yourself. I honor the life I live today. I'm preparing peacefully for the life I'll live tomorrow. When morning light returns, instead of facing yesterday's unfinished business, you step into a space that feels fresh and welcoming. The emotional weight of waking up to disorder never has a chance to settle on your shoulders. This evening practice also offers a precious opportunity to slow down and reflect. In our fast-paced world, moments of presence often slip through our fingers. Taking just 5 or 10 minutes to gently touch the spaces you inhabit reminds you to breathe, to notice, to care. You close each day not with chaos, but with calm intention. Remember, this isn't about achieving magazine-perfect rooms. It's about creating a feeling. Even if you only straighten one small area, that action carries meaning. A blanket folded and draped over the back of the couch, a clean kitchen sink, a coffee table cleared of the day's accumulation. These become invitations to rest, to breathe more deeply, to release the weight you've been carrying. For many women, especially as we navigate different seasons of life. These simple rhythms become anchors. They provide stability when the world feels unpredictable. A home that receives even small acts of care becomes a place of renewal and strength. This habit nurtures your heart as much as your home. When you take those few moments each evening to ready your space for nightfall, you're also preparing your mind for rest. You're telling yourself, I deserve peace. I deserve a gentle landing at day's end. Tonight, I invite you to try this practice. Move slowly through your rooms. Fluff a pillow. Clear a surface. Wipe away a small spill. Dim the lights and draw the curtains. Move with love rather than pressure, with gratitude rather than urgency. As you do, notice how your home seems to respond. Notice how you begin to feel lighter, calmer, more grounded in the present moment. A few mindful touches, a few quiet minutes, and suddenly your entire evening wraps itself in peace. This simple ritual, repeated with care, will transform how you end each day. It will greet you each morning with a sense of fresh possibility. It will remind you that your home isn't just where you live, it's a living extension of yourself. You deserve this kind of sanctuary. You deserve to wake up to a space that feels like a quiet blessing. And it all begins beautifully and simply by saying good night with intention and love. Do you have any evening rituals that help you close the day peacefully? I'd love to hear about them. Bonus 1. Create your treasure collection. Sometimes the smallest spaces in our homes hold the deepest meaning. Among all the rooms and surfaces, having just one special place dedicated to joy can transform how you feel about your entire living space. Organized women often understand the power of creating what I call a happiness collection. This isn't storage for random items or a catch-all spot for clutter. It's a space reserved exclusively for things that warm your heart instantly when you see them. A handwritten note from someone dear to you. A shell collected from a beach where you felt truly at peace. A photograph capturing pure laughter. A small, thoughtful gift that reminds you someone was thinking of you with care and attention. The beauty of this special collection is that it becomes a visible reminder of what truly matters. On days when life feels heavy, when worries cloud your thoughts or your energy runs low, you have a place to return to. One glance at these treasures lifts your spirit and reconnects you to joy. Creating this space requires very little effort. Find a small basket, a pretty tray, a special shelf, or even a dedicated drawer. Choose carefully what you place there. Each item should carry a story, a smile, a memory of connection or beauty. This isn't about filling the space quickly. It's about thoughtfully curating it, allowing it to become a living testament to the beautiful moments in your journey. As seasons change and you move through different chapters, you might add new items and lovingly retire others. That's part of what makes this practice so special. Your collection evolves and grows with you, just as you grow through the years. It remains relevant and meaningful because it reflects your ongoing story. This special corner can become part of your daily rhythm if you choose. You might visit it each morning before beginning your day or each evening before you rest. Spend a quiet moment remembering the love, laughter, and light these items represent. Let them anchor you when life feels uncertain. In a world that often moves too quickly, having a space dedicated to stillness, gratitude, and memory provides a profound gift to yourself. You deserve that gift. You deserve to live surrounded by reminders that not everything needs to be practical. Some things can exist purely for joy. Today, I invite you to begin your own happiness collection. Even starting with just one item is perfect. One small reminder that you are deeply loved, that your life contains beautiful moments, and that every day brings new blessings waiting to be noticed. Have you ever created something like this in your home? What special item would you place in your collection first? Bonus 2. The breath of fresh air. There's something profoundly renewing about fresh air flowing through your home. It's easy to overlook this simple pleasure when we're busy or when weather conditions aren't ideal. But the simple act of opening a window, even briefly, can completely transform how your living space feels and how you feel within it. Organized women often incorporate this practice into their daily rhythm. They make a point of letting fresh air into their homes every day, even if just for a few minutes. This isn't about temperature control. It's about energy renewal. When air remains still and contained for too long, a space can begin to feel heavy and stagnant. A gentle breeze flowing through brings movement, refreshment, and a sense of possibility. When you open a window, even slightly, you're inviting change and renewal. You're allowing yesterday's energy, the staleness, the worries, the lingering heaviness, to drift away into the open sky. In its place, you welcome the freshness of today, the newness of this moment, and all the potential each new day brings. You don't need to create a draft throughout your entire home. One small opening is enough, just a crack that allows air to gently stir the curtains and lets the room seem to sigh with relief. This simple gesture reminds both your home and your heart that life is meant to flow, not remain stuck. Fresh air does more than clear physical stuffiness. It seems to clear emotional weight as well. It invites clarity of thought, lightness of spirit, and often sparks unexpected inspiration. Such a small action can have a surprisingly powerful impact on your overall well-being. Tomorrow morning, perhaps after pouring your first cup of coffee or tea, open a window nearby. Take a deep breath. Notice how different the air smells compared to the indoor environment. Listen to the outdoor sounds as they filter gently into your space. Perhaps birds singing, leaves rustling, or simply the quiet whisper of a breeze. These sensory moments reconnect you to the larger world beyond your walls. They remind you that you're part of something living, breathing, and constantly renewing itself. Making this a daily practice is a way of saying yes to change, yes to growth, and yes to new beginnings. Like the other habits we've explored, it doesn't demand perfection. It only asks for willingness to open up, breathe deeply, and welcome life's freshness. You deserve a home that feels alive with possibility. You deserve moments that refresh your spirit. Sometimes the simplest act, opening a window and letting the new day find you, creates the most profound shift in how you experience your space and yourself. Do you already practice this window opening ritual? How does fresh air change the feeling in your home? Closing thoughts. Dear friend, as our time together comes to a close, I hope you're feeling a little more encouraged, a little more inspired, and most of all, a little more at peace with where you are right now. Your home doesn't need to be a showcase of perfection. It doesn't need to meet impossible standards or look like it belongs in a magazine spread. Your home can be a place where love gently touches every corner, where small, consistent acts of care build into lasting feelings of peace, where the gentle rhythms you create nourish not just your physical space, but the very heart that carries you through each season of life. You don't have to transform everything at once. You don't have to do it flawlessly. You only need to begin where you are. Perhaps you'll start by making your bed tomorrow morning. Maybe you'll focus on keeping your sink clear and happy. Perhaps you'll simply open a window and let fresh air remind you that each day brings a new opportunity to breathe deeply and begin again. Which small habit resonates most with your heart today? I'd truly love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Share which practice spoke to you, or if you have your own special ritual that brings more peace and joy into your home, please share it with our community. Your experience might be exactly what someone else needs to hear right now. If you found a moment of comfort or inspiration here today, I warmly invite you to subscribe and join us as we continue exploring ways to create homes and lives filled with more clarity, kindness, and ease. Until we meet again, remember that you're doing better than you think. Your efforts matter deeply, and every gentle step you take brings you closer to a home and a life that feels just right for you. Take a deep breath, smile softly, and know that you are enough, exactly as you are.